Hey, Yetis, Smith here. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Want to talk to you a little bit about the structure of our Wednesdays and how we're using Wednesday mornings to run these WIN sessions. And WIN is an acronym for What I Need. So students will be participating in What I Need sessions Wednesday mornings at Snowy Peaks. And I just want to explain what that means, just in case your child didn't come home all excited about it and immediately at the dinner table start explaining how cool this WIN idea is, which, obviously I'm joking about that. So let's fill you in right now. This is the slideshow that we went through with our students. So I felt it'd be appropriate to share it with you as well. Okay, so on Wednesdays, what we have done is we have moved away from saying, hey, you have to work on period 1 at this time. You have to work on period 2 at this time. What we instead are trying to do is formulate a schedule where students are empowered to work on what I need or what they need to be most successful. And this is not something where we're just like open study hall, turning students loose and saying, well, work on something. That would be crazy. So what we're doing is we're really scaffolding out with the students, supported by teachers, the work that they need to do on these Wednesdays. Okay. And we'll be sharing that work with you, the families. All right. Also, every single Wednesday, they are going to have on demand or asynchronous activities and lessons and assessments for their Be Legendary class. So I just plugged it in there at 10:45. Your student can work on it at any point in time, but there are always going to be assessments in Be Legendary that they need to work on. And then we'll continue running our experiential learning activities on Wednesday afternoons. Students can meet with a teacher in a group to participate in an off-campus activity, or they can continue their academic work, or they can do an individual experiential activity, which we sent out a list to you guys, and students have access to that list as well of what an independent experiential learning activity could be. Okay, so what are our goals for WIN period? What I need. We want all of our students to earn above a 3.0 in all classes. I don't know if you remember, some teachers used to put classes and schools on a bell curve. I think that is a terrible idea. I think all students should be successful with a 3.0 or better. Students will have defined time in their schedule to ensure they produce quality work. WIN period can be a time where a student, even if they're caught up, can go back and ensure mastery. They can go back and say, hey, I have a 2 in this class, and that's not good enough, so I need to go back and revise that assignment, resubmit it, and ensure that I get that 3.0 or 4. We also want to make sure that we avoid giving homework. Snowy Peaks believes that home time is for family. We don't want to bombard our students with hours of homework, and because of the size of our classes, we feel like we do a really good job of progress monitoring our students and being able to get through a lot of content in school. In a class of 10 to 12, you get a lot more done. So where we do have to give some homework sometimes is if a student doesn't use their time wisely in school, or if they've been absent. And if the student's been absent, usually they have to do all that work getting caught up on their own time. So this on Wednesdays can be a time for students to get caught up on work that they may be behind on. Also, this is an opportunity for students to seek help. They should take ownership for their success because students will have access to their teachers for support when needed. Teachers are available all day on Wednesday to support our students. And if they want to schedule an office visit or a small group tutoring session or an opportunity to go back through an assessment or review something, they can schedule that time with their teachers. Our teachers are waiting for those opportunities. We want to support our students because the worst thing we would think is that our students have to go out and pay someone else to tutor them in the content area. I've heard that some tutors in this county are charging $80 an hour. Man, that is ludicrous to me. Your teachers, your students' teachers are available on Wednesdays for that same type of virtual small group tutoring session. And heck, we've even talked about opening up the school and opening up some academic opportunities here in the building if we can. So stay tuned on that. Okay, why are we doing it? Because what we know is that we're trying to teach our students to be able to determine what they need to do, prioritize when they need to do it, And at the end of the day, produce quality work. We talk about this. Productivity is the gauge of success in American culture. It doesn't matter what job they walk into. If they can walk into a job and they can produce quality work in a timely manner, if they can do better work than the people next to them, they are going to go far in their career. We want to teach kids those skills, and we're trying to use this opportunity to do that now. Okay, so how does it structure out? The first thing we need to do is let students know what their grades are, give them an opportunity to see where their academics are. All right, so we're going to do that on Tuesdays. So each Monday, staff is going to run a grade report. Then each Tuesday, the students, and eventually starting next week, your families will be notified whether the student is a green student, identified as a yellow student, or identified as being in the red. So we'll talk about what each one of those categories means. That'll give you just a quick snapshot. Hey, my student is green, which means, hey, keep cruising. Your student is passing all of their classes with a 2.0 or better. All right, so there's no significant hang up that we need to slow down or stop for. If they're in the yellow, that means they have one class that's below a 2.0, and that can include being an incomplete, meaning they haven't turned enough work to receive a grade. So in that situation, the student will be identified as yellow. Students need to advocate for themselves by talking to the teacher in that subject area. And again, we're prepping students for those conversations in class. Then they use their Wednesday win time to get rid of that grade and make sure that they're back in the green. Students will be informed that they are yellow carded, and parents will be informed via email. We did notify all of our students of their grade situation yesterday. If a student is red, okay, that means one of two things. It either means they were yellow and they didn't take care of the grade, and now we got to really stop, ask for help, and address the issue, or the student has more than one grade below a 2.0. So a student might be red just because they've been absent, right? We've had a few students be absent for a few days, right? And if I don't know about you, but if I miss 3 days of work, my to-do list is huge. So we have to use our time wisely to get caught up. And this Wednesday opportunity is an awesome opportunity to do that. All right. So, yeah, if they're in the red, they need to attend their classes, work during win time, and we'll also still be, of course, notifying students and parents of their status. But boy, if they're in the red, that means we need to stop, ask for help, and address the issue. Okay, so once we get the snapshot, students are green, yellow, or red, we then hand students their grade report in their Tuesdays Be Legendary class. And then they work through their grade reports to identify what they need to work on Wednesday. Students will complete a Wednesday making a plan document indicating their grades and any improvements that can be made. Now, our goal yesterday was to share this with every parent. Students took their time and really worked through it, and that didn't get accomplished yesterday. But starting next week, weekly, parents will get a copy of this. It'll look very similar to this. That the students will say, hey, I'm going to set aside time tomorrow in my morning to work on this class because I have this current grade, and this is the assignment that I will either do, redo, or review. All right. So in that morning block, they've got a lot of time to go through their classes and ensure that they have a 3.0 or a 4. There is no reason that our students shouldn't be earning straight A's in this school. Okay. And we're giving them that opportunity. With that being said, if they're running into, let's say, an Algebra 1 concept that they're not really sure on, and they need to complete the task, but they're struggling to do it, they need to schedule an appointment with the math teacher who will be available for a tutoring session in that time. Okay. As I talked about earlier, every Wednesday they will have Be Legendary. That's our social skill curriculum course, and they will have assignments in that course. Now, I got a question from a student last night. Do I need to sign on and be live in a class at 10:45? No, you do not. You just need to make sure that you complete the assignments that are listed in that class each Wednesday. All right, we want to make sure our students take a break and eat some lunch, And then in the afternoons, as I talked about earlier, we have experiential activities that students can do with the group. They can do them independently, totally up to them. And if they really say, hey, you know what, I still need to continue to focus on my academics because maybe I was absent for a few days and I need that time to focus on my academics, we want to give students the opportunity to do that as well. Also, we put one block here in the afternoon and things. We know that some of our students, if they were to use their time and make their own schedule, they might schedule to do some of their schoolwork in the afternoon. Heck, it could be after dinner time. That's definitely not me. I'm an early morning worker, but I know some of our students are not. So they can even put their schedule in the afternoons to work on their schoolwork. So you will start seeing this form. Your students will be filling out this form every week to communicate to themselves what their to-do list is, to communicate to their teachers what their to-do list is, and to communicate to the families, you guys, what they're going to be working on Wednesdays. That way we are all on the same page. All right. In addition, as I talked about, every Wednesday they're gonna have to work on a Be Legendary assignment. Today's assignment is they need to do a weekly reflection and goal setting activity, and they need to prep for the Snowy Peaks Challenge, which is going to be next week. All right, so I'll do a newsletter kind of announcements going into that in greater depth, but that's the assignments that your students need to complete today. And then today's Wednesday afternoon activity is either mountain biking, fishing, or disc golf. I believe a text message went out about that. And, again, students can always opt for an independent activity. They are not required to come to a school group activity. Okay, that's all I have for you. Sorry that was long, but hopefully that gives you a greater insight into what your student needs to be doing on Wednesdays, how we're going to help prepare them to have that to-do list on Wednesdays based upon their grades, that we will be communicating whether your student is green, yellow, or red weekly so that you know, hey, if they're yellow or red, they have work to do. They may say like, hey, I'm done. And you can say, well, let's look at that a little deeper. And then Wednesday afternoons, we have those opportunities rolling. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever for me, any feedback, any comments, or any ways that we can make this process better for you, please reach out. I'm here and I look forward to your comments. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.